Hello there and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we finally reached the end. March 31st, day 31, battle number 31. The finals. Who is going to get to be the champion of the Battle of the Bands? Which band will be the best hard rock band in this tournament? Well, it doesn't really matter in some ways because I've gained a lot of respect for a lot of bands. Some of the big bands coming into this there was a lot of these bands I didn't know. Of course, I knew Winterhawk from the beginning. They were one of the bands that I was aware of, the Iggy Pops of the world. Those kind of bands I was, but there was a lot of bands like Frigid Pink, Fuzzy Duck. Well, actually, Fuzzy Duck I'd heard of on another channel before, but like bands like Frigid Pink and Master's Apprentice and those bands, I never heard them before, and I was so pleasantly surprised at how good they were. The other band that really surprised me, and I had heard of them before, don't get me wrong, was the other Australian band, Rose Tattoo. This band is so good, like just so good. Their early stuff, that stuff they put out, rivals just about anything AC/DC did at the beginning of their career. I just think that it's an album that should get more appreciation. It kind of blows my mind that everywhere I look I cannot find this album. This album to me is an album that should just blow people's socks off. It's just fantastic. You know, there's a lot of pretty strong albums in this tournament. The other one that comes to mind is a Golden Earring album, The Seven Tears. That album was really good as well. You know, and especially the top 8 bands were all pretty strong here. There were some other bands that didn't get to the later rounds that I thought, had they have not paired up against certain people, they might have gotten a lot further. Buffalo was one of these bands. They should have been, if they hadn't hooked up with Master's Apprentice right off the bat, they could have gone a long way as well. And you never know what they were going to do because I only got to listen to them once. So if I'd gotten to listen to them 3 or 4 times, they could have just shot right up there. But they hooked up with the wrong band on the wrong time, right? And there were some bands in here that were sort of disappointments for me. But overall, I think it was a strong selection of bands that Ben put forth. I think he put some time and thought into this. Especially those first couple of rounds, he really matched up the bands well, very similar bands to each other. I think he did a good job launching all that together, and he picked a lot of really strong bands. And we decided, many people knew, we decided we wouldn't go with those big commercial bands that everybody knew. We wanted to give some attention to some of these lesser bands, and I think it was a great idea because a lot of these bands people didn't know, and a lot of them I didn't know. So anyway, without further ado, we're here to talk about the finals and the 2 bands that are in it. So Winterhawk will go first here because they won the first one, and then Master's Apprentice will go second. So the Winterhawk album, Revival, was released in 1982, 7 tracks in total on the album. All 3 musicians are really strong. This is a power trio, if you want to call it. The album is pretty damn heavy, bordering pretty close to metal on some tracks. Guitar soloing is off the charts. The guy is really good. The drumming at times is really strong too, and timely. I love some of these great guitar riffs that they come up with on this album too, just fantastic. And the one thing I did like is the vocal range of the vocalist. Now, I'm assuming it's just the one guy that sings lead vocals. I see nothing to indicate that it's more than one guy. But he has such a range. Like, a lot of the songs that he sings on this album have fantastic kind of Rick Emmett range type high-end vocals. But there is the one track, Ace in the Hole, where he has that Gilmore range vocals, and he kind of has a sense. I kind of sense that he feels a little bit about both. So it's really good. But I don't want to get it to the point where everybody thinks this is just a rip-off band of Triumph. They have their own sound too, and some of their stuff doesn't sound like Triumph at all, and it's just really solid, heavy stuff. There is a lot of soloing, but it's timely too. I never get a sense that this is a jam band. This is not a jam band. This is just a hard rockin' band who have a lot of kind of catchy riffs in their song, a lot of little proggy bits as well. Like there's some proggy numbers here. The first, for me, the first three songs are the strongest three, and then the Ace in the Hole. The final song is very kind of fantastic guitar bits and fantastic put together, and that drum part at the end, fantastic. Just such a great song at the end as well. Ace in the Hole is the Gilmore kind of range song. I really like the heavy riffing in this song. Really good. My favorite two tracks are still the top two tracks. The intro, which is an instrumental, which is unusual for me. I generally don't pick instrumentals as my favorite track. I can only think of one time in music for me where I picked an instrumental as my favorite track on the album, and that is from Hemispheres. Every other one, there's been some strong instrumentals here and there, but for the most part, they are always mid-range on the album. That's my favorite on that album, and this probably my favorite on this album. It's such a opening, strong, catchy riff, so good, heavy guitars, just fantastic riffs overall. Sanctuary, the second track, another methodical guitar riffing here. Vocals are really high range. It's got a bit of a proggy sound to it, and really catchy, and the solo is great as well. And it's pretty much bereft of the whole album is like that. It's just fantastic and gets stronger every time I listen to it. A must own hard rock album if you like this kind of music. And I've said, if you like Triumph, if you like that really hard kind of hard rock but not necessarily metal, you will love this band, Winterhawk. Fantastic band. Okay, so Winterhawk is coming up against Master's Apprentice Choice Cuts. This is a full challenge here, boy. I'm telling you. They just have so many good acoustic parts. There's a lot of really different sounds to their music. There's a psychedelic edge. There's even a little bit of keyboards, but I don't think they take away from anything on the album. I don't get a sense that it weakens the album at all. You've got this, the first five tracks for this battle, I gave them all 8s. Rio de Camaro, acoustic part opens, really catchy riff. This song is you just find yourself pulsing to it when you're listening. Michael, another really great acoustic build-up, another great riff here, fantastic song. Easy to Live. I almost feel a kind of Sabbath feel to part of this song. I like the bass on this as well. It's a really solid song. Because I Love You, this may be my favorite track on the album. I just like everything about it. It's just so catchy, so good, fantastic. The next song, which I also gave an 8, Caddy. This is a just off the charts type of riffing on it, just so catchy, and it just goes on. Like you just go from song to song all the way down, and they're all the same. There's all, like, the songs are a little bit different, but they all have that catchy feel to them. Vocals are good, really good. Some psychedelic parts. Our Friends. I think it's Owsley Stanley. Our friend Owsley Stanley. Really solid. It's got that psychedelic flair to it. Fantastic too. I really like the vocals on Death to a Kim. I believe that's the name of the song. heavy build, heavy beat with great catchy lead parts and rhythm parts, just fantastic too. And then of course it ends with that kind of acoustic guitar bit, so it's like I think it's just has this real acoustic part. It just kind of, the album just kind of mellows right out. It's perfect. It's a perfect album in just about every category. So now I got to choose one of these two, and I just don't know where to go. I really don't. So basically, I think the two albums, Master's Apprentice, its strongest suit is its variety of different sounds, and its arrangements are just great. That's, to me, its strength. With Winterhawk, it's the heaviness of the album with the good arrangements, but the guitar and the vocals and the instrumentation is very strong, but all within the good musical range that they put together. So if I have to choose, I don't know which one to choose. I'm trying to convince myself of one or the other. It's difficult. It's only going to be by a hair that somebody's going to win this. Master's Apprentice scored higher numbers, but the Winterhawk album had less songs, and they were all like really strong. Wow, it's tough. So it just comes down to, like, I thought about doing the same thing I've done with others, and which one of them is going to be better going forward. But I can't even tell you that. I don't even know which one's going to be better. I think they're both going to be great. Right now, if I had to choose, if I could only choose one to take with me on an island, and I didn't have a choice to choose any other one, I would have to say with the Winterhawk. I would go with them just because that's the one I feel like I would want to be with, would have with me on the island. I know this is going to be a surprise to people, because I think a lot of people have seen Master's Apprentices building to the point where they're going to take it. And if this was a battle of prog bands, they might. But this is a hard rock battle of hard rock bands, so you got to factor in the fact that that's what you're listening for, hard rock. And so I have to give it to Winterhawk right now. So they win it, but by the very slimmest of margins. This was maybe the closest battle of any battle I've ever done of any kind. So Winterhawk is going to go away the hard rock battle champion. Master's Apprentice, though, fantastic album. Just fantastic. Gotta have it. It's a must-have. The whole band's collection, I think, is really strong. Winterhawk, I don't think has as many. I don't know if we even have another album. I haven't been able to find anything. It would be a shame if this was the only thing they released. So there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this battle. Winterhawk winning it. They're the champs, but by the slimmest of margins. They beat some really strong bands to get here. Almost lost the Rose Tattoo too. This was a close battle, but for today I decided on Winterhawk. If I'd done this another day, Master's Apprentice probably might have won as well. So who knows? Anyways, that's it for the series. I hope you really enjoyed this series. I found that as it went along, I was getting more and more into it, because the bands were getting stronger and stronger, and the music was getting better and better all the time. So anyways, we will be back on tomorrow, on the 1st, to start a new series, which I will tell you about when we start the new series. So anyways, I hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe. Which one of these two bands would you pick if you had only these two bands to pick? Take care of yourself, and we'll see you again very soon. Have a good night. Goodbye.